Hello friends, welcome back, and the goal of this lesson is to have a very high level understanding about knowledge mining. Now, for most of the organizations that have been in business for a while, there's an estimate that 80% of their data is unstructured, and this include document of different types and images and even text that contain valuable information. But since this is unstructured, it is very hard to discover and manipulate and extract this information which contained inside these documents. And using knowledge mining, actually we can discover this meaningful information from these documents. So I don't want to go into detail here, but just very quickly, there are basically three steps at the very high level for knowledge mining. First is we ingest, second is we enrich, and the third is we explore. So in first step, actually, we pull the data from Azure data store. It may be blob storage, it may be Azure SQL, Cosmos DB, or it may be any different type of data store. And then we can also push the data directly into the search index and maybe from other cloud storage locations also using Azure Push API. And these data can be of different type. It can be unstructured data, it can be structured data, it can be PDF file, Word file, images, JSON, or any different type of file format. And once we have all this data, in the next step, we can use all different cognitive services like vision, language, speech, and so on this data and drive meaning out of it or index this data. And finally we can explore this data. So the idea is that once all these documents are properly indexed, we can explore them and find out some particular type of document. For example, we can find out all the organization and location detection across all of that content which we have gathered here in the ingest part. So without going into much detail, from exam perspective, you just have to understand that knowledge mining uncovers hidden insight in your data. Knowledge mining uses combination of AI services, as we just discussed, vision service, NLP service, or different types of cognitive service to extract meaning and relationship from large amount of information. So it extracts meaning, and it also relationship. It also relate how these all different documents are related to each other. This information can be held in structured and unstructured data source. It may be document and database also. So this is one question I've taken from a real exam, and it's pretty straightforward. Extracting key insight from structured and unstructured data sources is a feature of, so we are extracting key insight from structured and unstructured data, and that is simply an example of knowledge mining. So once again, from exam perspective, all you need to know is knowledge mining we use to extract meaning, information, and insight from structured or unstructured data. That's it. Thank you. Hello friends, welcome back, and the goal of this lesson is to understand conversational AI workload. So what is conversational AI? When an AI agent participates in conversation with human, that is conversational AI. And nowadays chatbots are becoming very common. In almost every website you can see that chatbots answer people question, inquiries, and provide frequently answered questions. Let me show you an example here. So in this example, you see that this is the human. It says hi, and then chatbot asks that which kind of service would you like to book. He mentioned about the service, and then chatbot asks for the day and time, and this human, he provide all this information, that service, which date, which time, and finally chatbot reserve that service on particular day and time and mention about the cost it is going to have. So you can see that here the human interacting with the chatbot, and chatbot understand human response, and chatbot answer human questions and response, and in fact can take some action if required as part of that conversation. So these chatbots can be used for customer support, to provide some kind of inquiries for the product or any kind of service. We can use it for the reservation system, maybe for the restaurant, maybe airlines, cinemas, or we can also use to for any other kind of appointment based businesses. We can use it for healthcare consultations and self-diagnosis. So for example, in healthcare chatbot, you can mention about your symptoms, and then chatbot can tell you what possible disease it may be. Or maybe you can ask that, for example, what are common symptoms of diabetes? Or maybe you can say, I'm having a headache, so what kind of medicine would you suggest? So chatbots can answer these frequently asked questions, these common questions. And we can also use chatbot for home automation and personal digital assistant purpose also. If you have a personal digital assistant, you can say that, can you please deliver these flowers to my girlfriend, and your girlfriend address, and from where to buy flowers, and all this information actually already fitted in this chatbot. So they work like your personal digital assistant, and you just ask them to do some particular service, and they just do it for you. So this is a big topic, and once again we are going to have a full module on this conversational AI where we will discuss this in detail. And this is another very simple example of question which you may see in exam from this particular module. So which two of these scenarios would you use conversational AI? So there are different scenarios here. Which two of these are conversational AI examples? You can maybe stop video here, think about this, and maybe come back when you are ready. All right, so very first option is translating speech from one language to another. And as we know that conversational AI cannot translate speech from one language to another. This is the feature of NLP, natural language processing, which we discussed in another lesson. And although actually conversational AI has some natural language processing capabilities, but this is kind of very restricted to extracting the keywords, the information from human input. So this is not the right answer. So the next option is making a travel reservation. So as I just said, the AI agent, actually the bots engage in conversational or in dialogue with human users. And as I just said, bots use natural language processing, NLP, in the background to make sense of human input. And bot can also identify the action a human want to perform. So for example, action may be to reservation a particular table, or to get some kind of information, or to deliver something to somewhere. And it also able to identify the object that the action need to be performed on. So for example, flight reservation, so flight, or in this case travel reservation, so this is the object. So bot is able to identify the object where the action has to be performed. And bot can also if required, prompt the human for information required to complete that transaction. So we just saw an example that bot was asking which day, which time. So all this information required, bot can extract that from human. And of course, travel reservation is one of the very common example which bot use. So yes, this is the right answer. Next is detecting a change in hospital infection rates. So as we discussed in anomaly detection, that if there is some unusual pattern that comes under the anomaly detection, and here we see that there's a change in human infection rate. So this is not a conversational AI, but this is an example of anomaly detection. Detecting spam in emails. And once again, this is the feature of NLP that can analyze the text in an email and determine if email contains any spam message. So once again, this is not the answer. Answering frequently asked questions. So another use of conversational AI is responding to human questions with answers from a knowledge base of questions. So AI create a knowledge base. Basically, we provide all this information, all hundreds of questions to AI model, and it creates the knowledge base. And using that knowledge base, AI respond to human for his question. So conversational AI with the use of NLP can find actually the most appropriate answer from that question and answer pairs and provide the answer back to the human. And as I said, and this is one of the common use of conversational AI to provide answer to the question of human. So these are the two right answer: travel reservation and frequently answered questions. So I hope now we have at least a high level understanding of conversational AI, and of course we are going to have dedicated module on this service where we will be going into detail about this conversational AI. Thank you.